Hey everybody. Oh my god, it is story time, okay? So I'm currently in India right now on our 4-show tour of the Middle East and India. I don't even know where to begin with the drama that happened on night one in Bahrain. I'm there the night before the gig and I'm talking to our tour manager, Carlos, and we were laughing about what could go wrong. There's so many things that have gone wrong on this tour. What could possibly go wrong? And I said, Steve decided to check his guitars instead of carry them on in gig bags for the first time in a really long time. We've never done that. I've never heard of them doing it, but we wanted to try it. Because the checked cases are amazing. It's super easy, there's no airport stress. But how funny would it be if at the first show with those checked guitars, they get lost? And he was like, dude, don't even go there. I'm like, all right, nothing will happen, it'll be fine. My guitar's made it just fine, I'm sure they'll make it. The guitars got lost. You can't make this shit up, man. You really can't make this shit up. The guitars got lost in London. And not just the guitars, also the Hydra, half of Steve's rack, and his pedal board. So the night before the gig, everything that he needs to play is 6 hours away in London. We are in Bahrain. The shit hit the fan day one. That's what happens, baby. That morning we're having breakfast and everyone's talking about what are we gonna do, and I said to somebody, I was like, dude, just get some fans from the VIP to loan Steve their gems, because they're coming, they have gems, get some fans to loan gems. And apparently I wasn't the only one with this idea, because it started circulating, and before I knew it, that's what was happening. So this is a night that will kind of go down as a little footnote in the history of Steve's live performances, certainly in the history of the Inviolate tour, because this never happened any other night on this tour. Steve performed the entire show on guitars borrowed by fans. Yes, you heard that right. Fans borrowed guitars. All right, so this right here, Gold. What was your name, by the way?
Hansike.
Hansike?
Yes.
Good to meet you, man. Hey, so this legend right here supplied this gem, which when Steve gave it back to him, he said, he named it Gold, and he said,
I'm gonna move gold.
Is it gold, just like you? That's awesome, man. Look at that. The guitar that saved the day. So that tape, the string gets stuck.
to remove.
Yeah, no, leave it. And
Yeah.
he uses this too for the volume, the way the volume knob feels.
You know what? It's got his DNA on it.
Dude,
So it's gonna pass
so
through.
how are you feeling right now?
Man, this DNA is gonna pass through to me, so I'll be the next gold.
Fuck yeah, dude, you're already gold, bro. You don't actually live here.
Yeah, I live in Dubai. So 2 months ago, I went to Bangkok for the Evo experience.
You saw the show. You were Evo experience
Yeah,
in
Evo
Bangkok.
experience in Bangkok. Then that led me here.
So you flew with your guitar?
Yeah, I flew with my guitar and my guitar neck there because I cannot carry 2 guitars. So what I did, I just put out the neck.
Wow, dude, that's incredible. So you were here for the Evo experience for this?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, just for the Evo experience.
So you brought your guitar hoping to get it signed,
Exactly.
and you got it played.
I got it. DNA though.
You got DNA, man. And you got it, and that was a great gig too. Yeah, man, that's amazing. For you, dude. So that wasn't the only unique thing that happened that night, though. On a previous tour, like 10 years ago, Steve and the band used to do a thing called Build Me a Song. And what would happen is they would bring up someone from the audience and they'd make this person sing, like, hey, sing a drum beat, sing a bass line, sing a guitar part, sing a melody. And then each of the members of the band would just pick it up and start playing it, and then they would turn it into a song. Because we didn't have the Hydra and Steve didn't have a guitar with a sustainer, we had to cut some things out of the set list. So in doing so, he decided, let's do Build Me a Song tonight. So this was the first and only Build Me a Song of the Inviolate tour. Yeah. So you're probably wondering what are some of my thoughts on this. Like, I'm kind of in an interesting position now because I've been a tech, I played in the band, and I hear Steve's rig all the time, every day. I hear him play through different cabinets when we're doing fly gigs every single day. I've heard him play through lots of different guitars and things in addition to obviously all his own stuff. But I've developed a pretty familiar ear with everybody's sound in the band because we hear it every night. And what are my thoughts on how it sounded with different guitars and not with an amp, with the pedal for tone? Honestly, I mean, Steve is Steve, right? He sounds great. He sounds like Steve no matter what. Tone is in the hands. If you ever needed evidence that tone is in the hands, all you have to do is listen to some of the clips from this live show because he sounds like Steve. And the first thing I noticed when he started playing was, of course, it sounds like Steve. Is it different? Yes, but how is it different? Going from a 100-watt power amp and Synergy preamp to a pedal, the sound was different. It was definitely not as loud. That was the first thing I noticed. Now that could be a perception thing because I have in-ear monitors, I pop them in and out sometimes. To me, like right off the bat, the tone sounded a little bit less loud. It was definitely, not including the sustainer, it definitely sounded like there was a little less sustain, and it also sounded a little bit less clear. I'm not sure how else to describe it, but from an EQ frequency perspective, like the mids were a little bit less pronounced and the highs were a little bit less pronounced. And the clean tone was a lot more scooped. It was definitely darker. His normal clean sound is like really kind of full spectrum, really loud, really high fidelity. The clean sound from the pedal is definitely not that, but you can't get that without 100 watts. I mean, that's just kind of, you know, if you're using a tube system of any kind, which the pedal is, to then expect to get that same clarity and clean headroom is not possible without the wattage. If you're going digital, it's totally possible, but if you're going analog, it's not. Probably my favorite thing that I noticed about his performance, again, you know, I get to watch him up close and personal every night. I felt like he had to focus more than normal. There were a couple moments where I was watching him play, and I was watching just how focused he was. Like, you know, you have to focus and you have to pay attention to what you're doing when you're performing. But when you play the same songs over and over, I mean, as we did 187 times on this tour, 182 times, you are able, even for someone like Steve, who's playing all these crazy melody parts and shredding solos, like you are able to get comfortable with the parts when you play them that many times, and you're able to interact with the crowd a lot and stuff and perform. The more you do it, the more you can perform comfortably. But tonight, he had to really, really focus. I mean, like, I watched a couple times and I really noticed, like, he was focused. And in some ways, like, I felt like he played better. Like, the show was electric, man. Like, I don't know how else to say it. The energy was fantastic. When we came off, we were like, dude, that was one of my favorite shows of the whole tour. It was one of the best shows. And to top it off, we were playing in a small restaurant. It was a small gig. There weren't a lot of people there. Everyone was sitting down eating dinner at tables. It was a restaurant gig. But there was something about like the crazy unknown that he was dealing with that put his playing into this other kind of category. And there was just a frenetic energy that I hadn't felt in a long time because you get comfortable with the gear, the songs and everything, and then it becomes a wash, rinse, repeat cycle. But when you turn everything on its head, like, you get something crazy, and that's really what happened in this situation. And getting to witness that and be a part of it was super fun because I started feeling the energy too. At first I was like, all right, here we go, you know, another gig, let's do it, another gig. But then we were into like the second song, I'm like, something's a little different. Like the whole energy of within the band felt like we have it tonight. Like, we were really energetic, and the crowd was great for what they were, but it wasn't like sometimes when you go to these bigger festivals and stuff, it's like, whoa, yeah, you know, it's energy and the whole show flies by. But in this case, I thought, you know, it's a restaurant, it'll probably be more chill. And it was not. Like, the band was just, so it was a really fun gig, really memorable. So we're walking to the gig. We had to take the long way, so we're outside.
Julian's gonna play bass tonight.
Steve is still missing a bunch of gear, so he's playing guitars that are borrowed from fans, which I think is super cool, dude. We're headed in. Here we go. There's Fire, Jeremy. Thank you, bro.
So look, guys, they moved us over to the outdoor stage.
this is where the outfits are. I should have worn this. Anyway, it was a really unique night, really interesting, and I had to capture a bunch of it and tell you guys about it. So thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. All that yada yada, you know, YouTube stuff. And we'll see you somewhere on tour next year because we got G3 by Satch. So we'll see you out there. All right, take care, guys. Peace.